Cover Story, our exclusive with Jackie Evancho, the talented young singer who first became a star at just 10 years old. Now at 18, she's opening up about her secret health struggle and the perils of finding fame at such a young age. She sat down with our Paula Ferris. Hey there, Paula.
Hey there, Robin. You know, she's 18. She just moved to New York City and says that she wants to be her authentic self. That means being honest about the demons that she's battling, revealing for the first time that she has an eating disorder.
She was the tiny performer with that powerhouse voice who found reality show fame at just 10 years old. And now Jackie Evancho has transformed from that little girl to an 18-year-old woman who's opening up for the first time about the struggles she's faced aging in the public eye.
I was diagnosed with anorexia, but I've been dealing with it since I was 15.
When did you start having those struggles?
I just started high school again, and I was just really self-conscious with my stomach and my face. Having an eating disorder is like having another you inside your head screaming all of the worst things that you could hear about yourself. You're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid, you're worthless, all that stuff. And it's just every time you look in the mirror, you see something that's not there. With my eating disorder, I have body dysmorphia as well. So I won't be able to see what my reflection actually is because whatever it is in my head is distorting it.
How do you deal with it now?
I guess I'm just a little more vocal about the thoughts that I have when I have them. If I'm struggling, I'll tell my parents I'm having a hard time. What do I do?
So you're very open,
yes,
and honest with those around you.
Yes, and that's key to avoiding, stopping, and recovering from an eating disorder.
Body image is not the only struggle Evancho has faced. She says she's often targeted by men who've meant to harm her.
Do you have any regrets about being in the spotlight so young?
I have no regrets because ever since I was able to think, I knew this was what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I love music in this world way too much to give it up.
So if given another chance, would you do it all the same?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there are some things that I would figure out. I've had so many crazy experiences. I've had people pretend to be priests or say they're priests, and then they get backstage. And actually, there was an instance where a priest asked me to sit on his lap while backstage, and I'm so glad I was smart enough to say, I'm not comfortable with that.
Was he dressed like a priest?
He had the collar on and everything.
Were you ever harmed in any way?
I was never harmed physically, but mentally I developed a lot of fears.
The vocalist just moved to New York City and is working on a new album filled with current Broadway hits.
This album is the most authentically me album to date.
And she's working on healing.
What would you tell that 10-year-old self?
I guess I would tell her you're not alone, because that was the hardest thing for me, was constantly feeling alone.
Why do you want to deal with this so publicly?
I really wanted to be that perfect role model. And as time goes on and all of these issues are coming to front in the world, I'm starting to realize that being a perfect role model is also showing that you're not perfect, because that shows people that they can be just like you, even if they're not perfect.
It's not about perfection. She is a very private person. Being so vulnerable is a little scary for her. At one point in the interview, she's like, I'm not sure I want to go, but she did decide to go there. She wants to help other people, but she wants those out there to know it's okay to not be okay. And for her, it was her parents calling her out on the eating disorder and really sitting her down. She is getting therapy, and she's being very open about this.
We're all rooting for her.
We
are.